Hey everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a minute since my last video. It was about 10 days ago, I think I posted at the time of filming this. But the holidays came and I was able to go home earlier than expected, so took some time with family. So I hope everybody had a great holiday season, whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, or any of the other ones. Um, and hopefully that didn't sound shallow, but I don't know the names of the other ones. And that probably would have made me sound worse. So I hope everyone just had a great holiday season. And hopefully everyone's ready to go into the new year and start the new year right. And so that's kind of where I'm leading today. The other night, I had a feeling that I think we should talk about today, which is the feeling of not being enough. Because I really want to go into 2026 with a lot more confidence than I started 2025 with. 2025 was a really weird year for me. I went through a lot, not only with moving and transferring schools and basically starting my life over and from scratch in a new area. Because, yes, a lot of people from my high school go to Clemson, but like different circles from high school. So I didn't really know anyone besides like my best friend, and that was it. I also, the last couple of years, I've seen a lot of true colors from people that I never thought were going to have the true colors that they did. I had to really look into who was in my life and evaluate if they belonged there. And unfortunately, some of them didn't. Some people that I definitely thought would always have a spot in my life showed otherwise. So I had to take some precautions for myself and let them know my true feelings and the direction that I saw our relationship going. One of those was a best friend that I've had for a really long time. Um, and unfortunately, they were just running with people that don't have my best intentions. So I just had to separate myself. And that ended in the dissolvement of our friendship. I haven't heard from them since. And through the grapevine, I've heard that that person is telling people that like we had this big blowout fight and I yelled at them, but I recorded the conversation. And I talked to them very candidly, very emotionally, very calmly. We had a great conversation. So it really hurts me when I hear that that's the narrative going around when I have the recording of the conversation. So, yeah. So I left a lot of people in the first half of the year. And I don't want to say that I don't miss them because they did mean something to me at some point in my life, but I'm definitely better without them. And as hard as that is, it's part of growing up. Sometimes you guys grow in different directions and you just have to be able to understand that and cut it off when it's a good time to cut it off. And I know some people are probably like, you recorded the conversation. Yes, I did. I did because I knew this narrative was going to happen. I knew having that conversation that at some point it was going to get sick and twisted and this narrative was going to be spun. But the hard part is you can't control the narrative that other people have about you. And if you continuously try to do that, you're going to exhaust yourself. You are going to be the villain in other people's lives and it's going to have to be okay. Just like I have villains in my life that they probably don't think they deserve to be a villain in my life, but everyone's going through this and everyone's having their own feelings and those feelings are valid. As long as you're not sending hate speech or like doing anything crazy to interfere or harm your so-called villains in your life, then who cares? And like the villains in my life I don't even like think about them anymore, to be honest. Um I'll never forgive them for what they did, but I don't put any emotion or thought to it anymore. Now, if it's brought to my attention, I will beat that dead horse. I will beat that dead horse, but there's no point anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point. So 2025 was really, really hard for me because I really thought I was going to have some of these people for the rest of my life. And I I don't even talk to them anymore. And I hope they're doing okay. I do. Like, from the bottom of my heart, I hope that they're happy. I hope they're doing okay. But I just don't have the energy to check on that, because it serves me no purpose anymore. It won't serve them any purpose. So we leave them behind. And let me recognize real quick, the reason there's a narrative that I blew up and yelled at them and it's so believable is because I used to react like that. When my feelings got hurt in the past, I would retaliate, like rage text, like Katie Maloney, my queen, rage text, right? And at the time, it was fitting for the age, but that doesn't excuse it. And that's why people have this narrative of me. And I won't take any of those back. I mean, I do wish that I could have handled the situation better, but I've never been afraid to tell people how I was feeling, unless it's romantically involved. I've never been afraid to tell people how I was feeling, or so like confrontate people. But I also don't really like that word because it implies danger or a dramatized way of feeling, when a lot of the times I was just trying to convey, like, hey, my feelings hurt. What you did sucked. And I don't like it. Except for I dropped like 8 F-bombs and 3 mean names. Those are the parts that I wish I could take back. But I don't apologize for how I feel when people treat me a certain way. I can look back and go, oh, hindsight's 2020, was never that serious. But at the time, it was serious. So I'm allowed to feel what I feel. And at the time, that's what I felt. That's why there's that narrative. Now, I don't have the energy to get that angry anymore. That 16, 17-year-old angry, it doesn't reach me anymore. But you're angry when you're 16 and 17 because being 16 and 17 sucks. It really does. So for the rest of 2025, I kind of had to wonder what my worth was and why my worth to other people wasn't as much as their worth was to me. I've been told since I was a kid that I'm a very emotional person, in a sense that I feel everything very, very deeply. If I love you with my entire heart and soul, and I will do anything for you. If I don't like you with my entire heart and soul. If I'm sad, you would think that I just lost my entire family and house. Like, if I'm angry, you would think that they like physically assaulted me and like cut off my arm. I feel everything tenfold, and that's okay. With everything that happened at the end of 2024 and at the beginning of 2025, it really caused me to reflect. I'm a very, very loyal person. Very, very loyal. Everyone's definitions of loyal are different, but my definition is I have your back. I have your back. That's something that I've always prided myself on, is I'm a very loyal friend. You call me in a time of distress. If I can be there, I'm there. And if I can't be there, I'll sit on the phone with you until you feel okay enough to hang up the phone. And it really hurts that some people may not think of me that way, because that is, again, one thing I've just always prided myself on, is that I am a loyal person. But again, I can't control the narrative that other people have of me. This is honestly a hard conversation for me to have, because I've struggled with not feeling enough my entire life. I'm always doing things for other people's approval, and I strive on approval. And it's hard because, the Sunday scaries hit that everybody gets on Sundays when it's dark outside and you're by yourself in your room and you're like, and then you turn on Billie Eilish or Gregory Alan Isaacoff and it's game over. Like Sunday scaries. Every Sunday of 2025, not specifically Sundays, but you get what I'm saying. There were many times where I just wondered why my friendship wasn't enough, why my looks weren't enough, why my personality wasn't enough. How can I fix this? How can I do this? And it's a very depressing and lonely feeling when you sit there and you're wondering all these things, and then you realize those same people that caused you to sit here and reflect are probably not thinking the same way. And that's what I experienced. So going into 2026, I want to be able to fully accept who I am. And I want to fully be able to understand that I am enough. I am enough, and I do have worth. And everybody has worth. Everyone. And a lot at this time and age, since we were probably starting high school until we're like 23, you struggle with that feeling. Everyone's prettier, everyone's cooler, everyone's funnier, everyone's nicer, everyone, like all those feelings. It's hard to accept yourself. And I don't mean accept yourself like on the good parts. I mean accepting the fact that you have flaws and being okay with that. Being open about that. Being honest about that. Be honest about that. Because that's the only way that you can start to accept yourself as a whole. For example, I know that I had anger issues in the past. I know that. I just talked about it. Just talked about it with you guys. The rage text. I accept that. I accept that sometimes when I get angry, I want to go balls to the walls and just destroy everything in my path. I have to accept that in order to not do that. And everyone is worth it. Everyone is worth it. You are worth it. No matter how much or how little you have to offer someone, you are worth it. And as a society, we are either so self-conceited or so insecure that there's no one that's just okay with who they are. You're either on this side thinking you're prima donna, you're too pretty, you're too cool, you're too funny to be touched. And then there's this side where you're not enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not cool enough, you're not funny enough for anything. It's really hard to convey what I mean without just saying, like, when people tell you to be yourself, I strongly advocate for that. My brother, he's 17, so just that age that I was talking about, that just sucks. But I know there's that struggle of fitting in and feeling enough from other people. And every time we talk about it, all I tell him is just to be himself. Just be yourself. When you are who you are, you will attract the people that deserve to appreciate that. When you're trying to hold up a front of being this other person and being cool and being funny, you're not going to attract the people that will appreciate that and your flaws. And that's something that I ran into. I was trying to be this person. And I will say I was being myself, but on an amplified level. And when I was this person, they loved me. But when I showed any kind of flaws, they didn't. And they didn't appreciate it. They didn't care. They didn't support it. It was just, oh, Lauren's mad again. Oh, Lauren got her feelings hurt again. Oh, Lauren this, Lauren that. And it's like, but you could have had my back. But they didn't, and they weren't prepared for it because I was trying to be this person. Does that make sense? So the latter half of 2025, I was who I am. Completely. No persona, nothing. And the friends that I made in late 2025, who I miss very dearly because they're in Columbia and I'm in Clemson, but they had my back. And those were the truest friends that I had experienced since the friendships you have when you're a kid. Because they accepted all of it. All of me. I had never felt so understood and respected and appreciated in my entire life. They're those kinds of friends where when they say, oh, I'm going to call you or I'll update you or, oh, I want to see you, they mean it. They truly mean it. And when I had the falling out with the person in 2025, early 2025, I told them I still want to be friends and I still respect them. I just can't be as close to them anymore. And they like agreed. I haven't heard from them since. And it's just the sad truth. It's just the sad truth. The friends that I made in the latter 2025 really, really helped me on this journey of just accepting myself and knowing that even at my absolute worst, I am worth it and I am deserving of love and all of those things that I had been missing from friendships for so long because I was striving to be liked all the time. Also, in order to accept yourself, you can't be friends with everyone. I'm so tired of this. Oh, well, they didn't do anything to me, so. Well, they did something to me, and you're supposed to be my best friend. You're supposed to have my back. Well, they didn't do anything to me, so I'm going to keep being friends with them. Ugh, I'm bored. Ew. 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 Because when someone did something to you, I didn't even look at them again. Didn't speak to them again. There are people that I haven't talked to this day because they hurt the people that I don't even have in my life anymore. I want to go into 2026 feeling enough. Feeling enough and knowing that I'm enough. And that's why I'm having this conversation. 2025 was really, really hard for me on multiple levels. There are nights where I stayed up and I cried myself to sleep, or I cried until 3 a.m. because I kept wondering why I wasn't enough, why people didn't like me, why people were doing the things they were doing to me, why all of these things. And I can't do that anymore. I can't do that anymore because there is no answer. That's just how they view you, and that's just how they're going to view you. So when you stop trying to be this person that you know will be accepted, you will find the people that will accept you as is, as you are. Now, I'm not saying that moving here and starting my life over has just like magically given me like all these friends and all these great experiences, but what it has given me is a good group of friends. My roommates, they accept me as is and have made my living environment much more comfortable than it has been in the past because I know I don't really have to have a persona. There's days where I go out into the kitchen to make my morning coffee and I'm like, guys, I can't do it today. And they're like, okay. And I sit in my room. And they accept that. And there's no guilt. There's no, oh, well, Lauren doesn't hang out with us. There's nothing but acceptance. And they have really accepted me as I am. And it allowed me to let down a lot of the guards that I didn't even realize I had up. For example, one of my roommates, she's very eccentric. She's very out there. And I love her for that so much. She's so silly, so goofy, and she allows herself to be that way. And I realized it's been years since I fully let go and was silly, if that makes sense. It's almost like, when people say like healing your inner child, that's what she's done. By her being herself, her silly, goofy, fun self, it's allowed me to open up that part of myself that I shut away. And I didn't even know I shut it away. But it's because I was trying to be this person for so long that it was gone. The only people I could be that silly, goofy person with was my family, because my family has always had my back. So being here didn't magically solve all my problems. I still don't know what I want to do with my life. I still don't know if I even want to stay in college. I still don't know what I want to do as a career. All I know is that I like to read. I like to write. I like to sing. I like to dance. I like to watch movies. I like to be creative. That's why I do this. That's all I know. And that's okay. Moving didn't solve all my problems, but it did allow me to break out of the shell that being in Columbia put me in, because so much from high school trickled an hour and 15 down to 77 into Columbia. I was allowed to break out of that shell here and really explore parts of myself that I had shut away without even realizing that I shed away. And that's something that I am really grateful for. So moving didn't solve every issue. Cutting people off didn't solve every issue. Losing people didn't solve every issue. But it did lead me in a way that I didn't think I was going to be led. And that was this: accepting myself, learning to accept myself, all my flaws, all my silliness, all my stupidness, all my anger, all my sadness, all my happiness, all my joy, all my laughter, all my fun, all of that. So going into 2026, I'm fully accepting who I am. If you have the patience for me, because like I said, I've been told that I have a lot of personality, that I'm a very loud, crazy person. Great. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I think that this is the first time in a while that I've been okay with it. I've told a lot of people when you meet me that I have a lot of personality. I'm very opinionated. I talk a lot. And I've acted okay with it because it served as a warning to those people of who I am. But now it's not a warning. It's just a, hey, here's who I am. Here's who I am. And I have a lot of personality, and I hope you're okay with that. If you're not, cool. We don't vibe. The end. Doesn't hurt me. Doesn't hurt you. Let's move on. I have come to terms with the fact that I am enough. And I'm okay how I am. And I'm worth it for who I am. And you are too. And if you have people in your life that don't make you feel that way, then find them. Cut people off who don't make you feel accepted, who don't love you unconditionally, who don't have your back unconditionally, who make those snide comments that seem like jokes and good fun, but they're not. They're passive aggressive comments, and you will be able to tell the difference. Once you cut off the people that are making those fun jokes, like comments, you'll be able to tell those from the people who actually care about you and are making fun jokes at you. You'll be able to tell. And I didn't realize how much passive aggressiveness was in my life until I cut it off. So to cap this off, I hope I didn't just talk for half an hour to say absolutely nothing. But also, again, like I've said multiple times on this channel, there's no clear-cut purpose. If you will watch them, they do. If they don't, again, video diary for me to look back on. These are just things that I need to say. And I'm just putting it out there in case anybody else needs to hear someone say it too. So for 2026, it's not gonna be fully ready in the next week until the new year. Less than that, but it's not gonna be ready then. However, going into 2026, I'm going to fully accept myself and know that I am worth it. And if people can't see that, then that's okay. There's no reason to keep them around, not keep them around in a way of like dramatically cut them off, but I don't have to be close to them. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to get along. We don't have to hang out and pretend that we have something that we don't. So I am enough. I am worth it. I'm pretty. I'm funny. I think I'm pretty cool. I offer a lot to conversations. And I'm going into 2026 with that, with understanding that I do have good qualities, that I do have bad qualities, but all of them are worth it. And all of them will be appreciated by people someday. I've already started to find some people. I know I just talked about my roommates, but I've already found some people that are very accepting of who I am and enjoy being around me. And I don't feel like I'm walking on eggshells or that I have to keep up this persona with them because they just like me as is. So I hope everyone had a great holiday season. And I hope that going into 2026, we can all be more accepting of ourselves and be more accepting of our flaws. Be cringy, be weird, be stupid, be loud, and be proud of it. Be proud of it. Because when you're proud of it, other people will be too. And you will find people that want to be loud and proud with you. So I hope everyone had a great holiday season. I hope going into 2026, everybody has a goal that they're striving for. Not resolutions, because let's be honest, nobody keeps up with those. But I hope everyone finds their purpose. I hope everyone's going in with a clear goal of what they want from this year. And if you don't have a clear goal and you're just kind of going with the flow, then I wish you the best, because my goal is to understand that I am worth it and accept that completely. But also, other than that, I have no idea. So yes. Yeah, so I hope I didn't just bore you and talk your ear off forever to say nothing. I think I repeated myself like 16 times. Every time I say you can take a shot. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. If you did watch, all my socials and stuff are linked. So again, if anybody ever wants to talk about anything, I'm here. And other than that, unless I think of anything else to add while I'm editing this later, I hope everyone has a great day and has a very happy new year. And I will see you all in 2026. Again, unless something pops up and I just need a chat. Peace out.